Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Spitball Media Podcast. This is where we spit out the top entertainment stories of the week right in your mouth. My name is John Draper. Joining me is a guy who loves spitting in the mouth. Shah, how are you?
Correction. I hate that shit. You know what's crazy? Nowadays, this is like the norm to like spit in people's mouths and shit. That's the first thing that made me feel old. But I'm doing lovely. How's it going, brother?
Well, that's okay. And of course, Bish O'Brien is wearing a tank top. So Bish O'Brien, a lot of people may get turned on accidentally. I'm just we should probably put a disclaimer out there.
Well, those guys, they have shit going on their own. So, I mean, if they want to, then that's fine. But no, I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Excellent. It's been a big week in entertainment. And it just seems like every time like the week starts, we're like kind of fishing around. And then by like Wednesday, things just fall in our lap, like to the point now where the show is heavily edited before we even go on the air.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recall a single week where we were light on topics. Usually we have to get rid of about half of them. So
we did today.
Yeah, so we're probably never going to have an issue running out of topics with this show.
Yeah. And you know what's weird about it though, guys? And Bisha, I was thinking about this. This is not like a banner time in entertainment. Like fall schedule didn't start yet. Holidays didn't start yet. And yet there's just story trailer all day long.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked as little as or as short ago as like 3 months ago, covering stories like Hollywood's dead, cinema's dead. But we always have like 7,000 topics to try to cover each week. So I don't know, man. I guess cinema's doing okay, or entertainment is anyway.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be having a cinema's dead conversation anytime soon.
No.
I really don't. And you know what, Shah? Was still on paper, we still have like dozens of high-level features and streaming series to go. Like and it's almost September.
Yeah, I mean, most of the movies that I've been looking forward to have yet to even come out. I mean, Front Room is definitely one of those that's coming out that right there might be the movie of the year for me, man. I watched that trailer again, the one with Brandy.
Yeah.
Banger. So yeah, there's a ton coming out. But you know, cinema's definitely not dead, dude, especially with all these independent companies coming out now. It's easier than ever to make a film. So I don't see it ever running out. And especially with companies like Shudder picking up all these indie films, like there's much more platforms now than ever to put these films out. So it's not dying anytime soon. Theaters might die, but as far as films in general, they're not going nowhere.
Yeah, and you know what, B-Show? I feel like a lot of these movies are having second life when they go to streaming. Like people are, like the theater experience might have been this, but then everybody watched it online or everybody streamed it online, or downloaded it or whatever.
Yeah, think of like 1979, 1981, where you had a movie come out that might have pleased horror fans or a small amount of people and was like a cult movie. Like even like, what is it? Big Trouble in Little China came out in like 86. Right. That movie bombed at the box office.
Oh my God, it was a huge bomb.
Yeah, and it's become a huge cult favorite, and some people say it's one of John Carpenter's best movies. I think the system right now, the way it's set up, where movies go into theaters, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later they pop up on streaming, it's more accessible and it's easier to find, whereas that didn't happen in the early 80s, the late 70s. So a lot of movies, as I think Shah said, or I don't remember, that may not have made it or found a second audience, now have that chance. And I hate that streaming is killing physical media in certain ways, but it's also making things more accessible too. So,
yeah, it certainly is. And it doesn't matter, I think, how you discover a movie, Shah. It's the fact that you found the time to watch it, whether you paid to watch it like in your house or you streamed it on when it debuted, or if you went and saw it at your local cinema. I think people are finding a way. They're acclimating to going, I'm never going to movies again, but I still order movies and I stream movies and I pay to watch movies as soon as they hit video on demand.
Yeah. Everything is a balance. Everything has pros and cons. The bad thing about streaming, I would say nowadays, mainly, I mean, you look at back in the day in the 90s, right? When I would buy a movie, I would watch that over and over again because, movies were like fucking like $60 a VHS tape.
Oh, yeah.
So if you buy it, you're going to watch the shit out of that. Nowadays, I feel like it's hard to build that cult following for any film. Like it's almost impossible to get to that legendary status that like a Jurassic Park or Indiana Jones is at, because everything is just so recyclable. You know what I mean? Like, it's just content. They're not films anymore. It's just fucking content for streaming. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it is a content thing now too.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, like, Terrifier got lucky, and obviously, with due respect, they did a lot. They did a great job with the film, but it's hard to build that following, because I mean, Terrifier, Art the Clown, that's an established fucking legendary horror character now, right?
Yeah.
So many horror movies are gonna come out where, look at fucking what was that movie? That silly ass movie that had like the Power Ranger characters, something Psycho Gorman, right?
Oh,
remember all that hype around that film? We were talking about it for a month or two. Everybody forgot about it.
Yeah, well, it got replaced. I mean, that's what I mean.
It's content. It's just
it got replaced. It's you know what I mean. It's content, but also Bisho. I think it's immediate. It's that new car smell. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is really cool. This is the coolest thing I've seen all year. And then 2 weeks later, this is even better than the thing I saw 2 weeks ago. And then a month later, this is now my favorite movie. Like, you're just moving from thing to thing.
Yeah, it's almost like Christmas every day, as opposed to you get your Christmas toys, you play with them for a year, 6 months, and then you get new ones later, which I guess, to Shah's point, makes a lot of these movies disposable. But, I mean, it's also giving an opportunity and a payday to a lot of other films that wouldn't have been picked up. I mean, that, because, like, I know we don't talk about wrestling, but people are arguing over AEW and will they get a new deal? Will they not? I think they will, because whether the company or not is a strong brand, HBO needs content, and they need cheap content, and wrestling's cheap to produce.
It is cheap, very cheap to produce. Yeah, it's very cheap to produce.
I think to that extent, even independent horror movies, they know that even if they don't have a tentpole movie every single month, they may have 5, 6, 7 other movies they can just throw on streaming. Like, look at Tubi. Tubi has a lot of shit up there, and there's always new stuff coming up. So I think the content itself is worth more than the film or the iconic status or everything else that comes along with it. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of do dig it because it is new and you don't have to wait. But I see what Shah's saying too. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of content, if you go to patreon.com/Spitball Media, we got a dick ton of content for you for $5 a month. Just as $5. There's well over 1,000 hours there of exclusive content. Bisho just dropped a show on it earlier this week that he's been working on for quite a bit. He threw it up there first for you guys. We're going to be doing a Q&A at the end of the month. I mean, Shah, if people like content, our Patreon is where it's at.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Speaking of content, we have a ton of that up there for $5 a month. Think of it as almost like a audio version of Shudder. You know what I mean? There's a ton of content on there, and you can even go back to the Break the Apocalypse days if you want to hear how miserable 2020 was. So,
yes, if you want to relive the 2020 year, that's
archived. It's on there.
It is archived. And Bisho, you just flesh out that thing you just dropped. I think it was on Tuesday. You dropped that, right?
So I didn't realize this, but Patreon now allows us to put video up. So
I didn't know that either.
It must be recent because it's never. You always used to have to link it to Vimeo or YouTube. Yes.
Yeah.
But now that opens the door for some of these watch along extras that we've talked about doing.
Halloween watch along. So, well, the only way they can get there, Bisho, is by going to the patreon.com/Spitball Media.
Absolutely. $5 a month. I did a video. I noticed that House of Wax 2005 seemed like it had a lot in common with Tourist Trap. And I haven't heard anyone talk about it. I tried to figure out why, and I did a little deep dive and figured out there's some connections in a roundabout way. That's what that video is about. So is it a knockoff? Is it not? I thought that was ironic for movies about people being faked and turned into replicas.
Yeah.
So go check it out. I have it up there. I'm probably going to leave it up on Patreon another week or so before I put it up on my channel. So go check it out.
Yeah. So it's an exclusive right now. And of course, Shah, if they join now, they get in on the August Q&A.
Yes, sir. August Q&A, and of course, with Halloween coming up, expect some Halloween shows. So this is a good time to join right now if you haven't joined.
Yeah, Halloween's going to be nuts. We are planning on doing a drunken or whatever it is that you do watch along. As of right now, I'm going to push hard for Wolf Cop. I just think I'm thinking Wolf Cop or Street Trash. We'll probably do a poll for the Patreon. Put up 5 movies.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Put up a bunch of movies, let them choose which one.
And they pick the one, and whatever picks it, we watch it. We'll probably, why don't we decide now? We'll all bring 3 movies to the table for Patreon. We'll bring 3. We're talking very specific fucking movies, okay? I don't want The Godfather on there or like, you know what I'm saying, B-Show? I don't want like, a mainstream. I want like gritty something really gritty on there, and we'll let them pick, and then we'll pick a weekend. We could even start it with the time difference a little off on the time, and we will do a full on watch along. I mean, that's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm partial Wolf Cop, so I want to see what we can come up with.
Street trash. Shah, if you had to wave a wand right now, what would you throw on there? Honestly,
between those two options, or
no,
just
yours. No, you go. Whatever you say. I'm saying.
Oh shit, man! You gotta.
I know
give
it's
me
rough,
something to
right?
think.
Maybe some vinegar syndrome.
Yeah, what would you throw on there?
I Wolf Cop. I like street trash, but then I'm thinking 1990 Bronx Warriors.
Like that's something. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Go old school Trauma, maybe for people who never really experienced, like, you know what I mean, like Class of Nukem High, you know what I mean, like something like that. Like that's a great. I mean, if you've never experienced that kind of shit, Class of 1984 is a fucking great restaurant, like a cyberpunk movie. Do you have one, B Show? If you had to wave a wand, like what would you throw on there?
Not off the top of my head. I'd have to search.
Yeah, people want the kangaroo movie. Yeah. I don't.
Have you heard of Night of the Demon, the Bigfoot movie?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
from like the 70s. It's like, oh, dude, it's one of the best.
Great.
Ones.
It's great.
That one's a good one.
I would do the gargoyles. I would do.
Oh, gargoyles is awesome. Yeah,
gargoyles would be, dude, fucked up with a room full of dudes watching gargoyles. Get the fuck out of here. Well, listen, we're gonna put them up. We're all gonna recommend 3. B Show, can we say hello to who's in the chat there before we got a full agenda here we're working with?
Yeah, we got Husey. What's up, Husey? Chris Matthews, Joe Punches. Hey now, Rich Dow. Joe Punches is there. Robbie Desjardins is there. Terrell is there. Backers Baron Corbin is there.
Backers Baron Corbin.
Let's see. I don't think I missed anybody. Rich Dow wants to say something. Go ahead and drop it in the chat, Rich.
Go ahead. Throw it in there, Dow. Hey now, Rich Dow. Go ahead, throw it in there. I was watching some of the Pirates game there.
Husey wants to know if we watched the Stuttering John movie one too many. I've heard
I've seen it. No, I didn't know there was a Stuttering John movie. That seems.
I didn't either.
It's the first time hearing of this Stuttering John movie. Why do we need a Stuttering John movie? Like, I don't understand. I would rather see a Beetlejuice or a Gary the Retard movie before I see a Stuttering John movie. I would rather see a Fred the Elephant Boy movie. That's what I
feel like Stuttering John is probably one of the most annoying characters off the Stern
it's like
show.
The worst whack.
Yeah, it's like the worst one to go with.
Big Jeff the Drunk. I'd like to see a Jeff the Drunk documentary. That's what I'd like to see. I'm a big Whack Pack guy.
Oh, I missed the Whack Pack. I saw like the later stuff on
they were great
when they were on E or whatever. But
High Pitch Eric. Oh, he was the greatest. Oh, Rich Dow wants to thank Chris for being his first sub on Patreon. Oh, Chris is the best, dude. Supports everybody. I love Chris.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Matthews too.
Yeah, Chris is the real deal, man. Chris is about as legit as it gets in this fucking world. That's for goddamn sure. But listen, we got a ton of stuff. And I'm gonna say something very unpopular. The guys don't know I'm gonna say it, but I have to say this. I've been quiet about this for days, and I've been sitting on this since I went and saw the movie Sunday. I went and saw Alien Romulus on Sunday. I did not talk about it. I kept it to myself. I wanted to think on this for a little bit. Now, as of right now, it's a huge hit. I think B-Show, it did 100 million this weekend.
Something like that. I can pull it up.
My theater was packed. I brought Violet with me. Violet wanted to see it because of all the marketing. Never saw an Aliens movie. This was a very hyped up film. And I'm just going to be honest here. This is a very unpopular opinion. I was a little disappointed. I was disappointed in the plot. I thought the plot was very Bush. I love the special effects. The when it gets going, it gets going. But if I'm being brutally honest here, almost fell asleep twice in the first hour of this movie. Wow. It is very yakety, very yakety until things start happening. There's a lot of, it's like a game. It's like a House of the Dragons. Love the special effects. I'm a little underwhelmed by the film. Now, I'm contemplating seeing it again, Shah, because full disclosure, I was very hungover and I was doing my best. Like I was hung the fuck over. Shah, what have you heard of this film? I know we're all excited to see it. We've been talking about it for a very long time.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm a little shocked that you weren't a big fan because I've heard nothing but good things. Even fucking Schlack saw it and he was satisfied. So I've yet to see it, but I've heard all great things so far. I've heard that this is pretty much one of the only ones after Aliens that feels like it should be in the Alien series. You know what I mean? Because Covenant and like Resurrection, Aliens 3, those aren't very popular with people. Same with Prometheus. I mean,
Prometheus isn't very popular. Now all of a sudden it's popular with people.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I watched Prometheus in the
now
theater.
Everyone loves it. Everyone thinks it's genius now.
Okay. I might have to watch it again though. I haven't seen it since. Yeah, I haven't seen it since the movie theater, but I wasn't a big fan when I was watching it for the first time.
Mm-hmm. B-Show, what have you heard? And can we get the box office? I think it's well over 100 mil or roughly 100 mil, which is fucking huge.
I just saw an article, I think it was Deadline, that said through Tuesday it was at 50.
Maybe global it was 100 mil.
Maybe. Possibly. It said running total of 50, so maybe it was just for
50? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. B-Show, what have you heard?
I've heard that it's good, but that it's very repetitive and it's a rehash. So I take that for what it is. I have not seen it, so don't take it from me. But I've heard that it's good. The effects look good, but it's pretty much a rehash, reboot type of situation.
It's 67 million globally.
Oh, okay. I thought it was rounded 100. What? I bet you that's a 80 or 90 million dollar movie, guys. What do you think?
Probably. I'll look it up real quick.
I'm just curious. Yeah, Rich. Rich is saying it was hyped up. Now, listen, Rivers Johansson, good friend of the show, said a similar thing the other day on Facebook, and I took everything I had not to say anything. Now, listen, this is, by the way, I'm just going to fall on my sword here. I could see this again, not hungover, and change my mind. I completely did a 180 on Longlegs when I saw it the second time. And I fell in love with Wolverine and Deadpool infinitely more, even though I liked it the first time. I'm just saying, from the time it starts till they get to the ship, it's very B-show. It's just very like British. Like, I don't know why everybody's British. Nobody's explained this to me. I'm not like a British hater, obviously, but like, I don't know. It just seemed, the plot seemed a little repetitive. Like you kind of knew what was going to happen. But, but when it gets going, it's exciting and fun to watch. I just didn't like the plot to get us there. There's a weird thing in the plot that some people are poo-pooing, B-Show. I don't know if you heard about it.
I think I saw a picture online that might have spoiled it for me. Not really happy about that because I didn't like some other stuff from the series.
Yeah,
so.
they made a bold decision with Alien. A very bold decision that I was a little like, huh? That's how this is the catalyst for the movie. Yeah, to me, guys, it's plot. Maybe I'm just a movie snob, but Shah, like you're like this too. If there's something not cohesive in a plot, you're taking points off the board, right? There's no chance.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Was it violent? Like, was it a hard R?
I didn't feel that way at all.
Yeah,
I kept expecting. Look, there's some good shit. There's good shit in there. Good shit. And it looks good. But it's not. I expected it to be a bloodbath. There's no bloodbath. Robbie's saying I enjoyed it. Some of the CGI I didn't care for it. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with CGI. Thought the two leads were good. Lots of nostalgia. Oh yeah, this is a Member Berries movie. And by the way, if you're somebody who's very fluid in Aliens world through Prometheus, the Covenant, not Covenant, but yeah, maybe Covenant. No, Covenant. Prometheus, Alien, and Alien. If you're well versed, you're gonna lose your fucking mind in this movie.
Yeah. Now the more that you say, I think I did have some stuff spoiled for me, which is disappointing. I'm really surprised though, Robbie, that the CGI wasn't good because we saw backstage footage of behind the scenes of like the costume and the set that they built, which looked like it was a fucking army base that size. So I'm really surprised with the care they took that some of the CG wasn't so good. That's disappointing.
Yeah, some people didn't like the CG. Shah, you said that was the first review you saw was the CGI wasn't great.
No, I haven't heard anything about the CGI. Because I mean, he mostly used practical effects, from my understanding.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping the CGI isn't shit because CGI, dude, it really does take me out of films. Like, it can absolutely ruin a fucking movie for me. I mean, there's countless films that I can mention that the CGI has been a letdown and it completely took me out. So I'm hoping this is not the case because I really do love the Alien series. You know what I mean? I want it to have potential. So I don't want it to shit the bed. So I'm going into it with a positive, mindset, hoping it's going to be good, but we'll see.
Well, I was thinking the ones I've seen in theaters. Now, obviously I saw Aliens in theaters. I didn't see 3 and 4 in theaters. I saw Prometheus, I saw Covenant, and I saw this. I'm a fan, but to me, like I think Drew Yari, shout out to Drew Yari, he's in here. He didn't like the last 20 minutes. Robbie said there was one use of the CGI he didn't like. I think I know what he's talking about. I'm not saying, listen, I think people should see the movie. I have a feeling it's going to have another decent weekend. That being said, I will revisit it. I will revisit it. And if I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. I might as well just put this out here now. So all three of us have now seen one of the highly touted horror films of the year that's on streaming now, Immaculate. And I have to say, I was not that impressed with Immaculate. I didn't dislike it. I didn't think it was bad. I just think because I've seen the First Omen, and the Omen is a big film for me. Unfortunately, Shah, I think seeing First Omen first, I think this is going to sound crazy, and I know I'm going to get shit for this. I think First Omen is probably a better movie.
I mean, I can't say you're wrong because they're both like neck to neck for me. I just really love the fucking twist in Immaculate. Like I thought that was a mind fuck. Obviously, I'm not
about
gonna
the
give it
ending.
away.
The ending.
The whole concept of them.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? There's a certain object used in the film, and it's tied to something else that I was surprised that's where they went with it, because I was like, whoa, that's not what I was expecting here. Do you see what I mean though with the Omen? It's almost identical as far as a film. Like it's
the endings are very different.
Right, it's complete opposites, but other than that, it's exactly the same shit.
Which now would you honestly, you would say Immaculate is slightly better than the First Omen?
I think so. Yeah, I like Immaculate a little bit better. Just a tiny bit. And again, it's not necessarily because it's a better film. That twist just stands out to me. It's something that I'll always remember because possession films, man, there's so many of them. They all blend together. I don't even fucking. Russell Crowe is doing like 5 of them right now. You know what I mean? Like,
his is supposed to be very good. The Pope's Exorcism. I've heard that.
I don't know, man.
They made a sequel. It must have did something. They wouldn't have made a
sequel. No, this is a different one. This is a completely different.
Oh, I
one.
thought it was the sequel to that.
No, this is just some other shit.
Well, B-Show, you also saw it this week, but you loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to top Long Legs for my top list of the year so far.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I really enjoyed it, and maybe it's because I grew up, in Catholic school. We used to make the pilgrimage every Christmas to the big cathedral downtown. Just something about this old Italian convent sucked me in. In the very beginning of the movie, I'm not spoiling anything, it reminded me in some ways, not like a copy, but just in style and theme. It reminded me a lot of... God damn it! I just lost the name. The Dario Argento, the witch. What's it called?
Oh, Suspiria.
Suspiria.
I like.
For some reason, it reminded me of Suspiria, like her flying into town, getting
the
in the
sisterhood.
car. Yeah, and that's the way I thought it was gonna go. And then when you find out what it's really about, it's like, holy shit! Like,
yeah, I might watch it again. I might. It's only an hour and a half, so I can watch it again. No, but like honestly, like I just felt like the two movies kind of like Shah put that in my head a little bit too, just from talking about it. I think the First Omen slightly edges it out because I think it wraps things up a little neater. I didn't like, and I'm going to just be frank with you guys. You could make fun of me all you want. I didn't like the ending of Immaculate. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it.
It did feel a little rushed and like
thank you.
Yes, it looked like it was like, oh hey, this is a really cool concept, and then the last 10 minutes we're gonna make it just a final girl movie. Yeah.
Yes, that's what. Like it felt rushed. Like unlike the First Omen, Shah, which we've both seen. Like that was a calculated ending, and then there was the other ending. Like you know what I mean? Like it was like it fast forwarded a little bit. Like the ending of Immaculate is very abrupt and weird.
Yeah, no, I can certainly see why you'd say that. I think Sydney Sweeney also gained some extra points for just being in there. She's
wild that she's in there. Yeah,
titties out almost. Nice see through and all that. I don't know, man. There was something to the movie similar to what B-Show was saying, like that. It did kind of feel like a Roman Catholic version of Suspiria because there's the sisterhood, this new girl that's coming from America to this new area, and there's some cult rituals happening, and that's all I'll say as far as that. But I kind of became obsessed with the idea of using that tool. I thought that was fucking brilliant. I was like, Plus, it takes some balls. Like I gave Neon some credit for that because I was like, "Yo, this takes some balls to do this."
I'll say this, and I'd seen it once in the trailer, and I didn't think about it. There was a scene where she literally is dressed in the garb of the Virgin Mary.
Oh yeah.
Like
with the shit in her hair. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a powerful image. Like that's like a whoa image. Like
which one do you think looked better as a film? Do you think like as far as cinematography?
That's a good. I feel like they both looked pretty damn good. I think First Omen, I think they used that Italy background a lot better. Like it just felt like Italy. You have to remember First Omen shot. That's the 60s. That's supposed to be that's about 1970s. That's a period movie. What year is Immaculate supposed to be? Is it even nondescript?
I think it's modern day.
It's modern day. There's no homage to a timeline. Like the First Omen is literally a prequel to the fucking Omen, which came out in 1973. Right. So this is 1971, 70, Italy. You know, everybody's in those clothes, the cars, everybody's smoking cigarettes. Bisho, you really need to see the First Omen. I'm very curious.
I was on the fence last night about which one to watch, and I picked Immaculate probably just because it was 90 minutes. But no, I really want to see it now. Yeah, Immaculate. I don't agree, Juriari. I love you, buddy, but he says Sydney Sweeney can't act. I know some of it was repetitive because she was just shocked a lot of times. Yeah. But I thought she did a really good job in that movie.
Yeah, Sam, I thought she did a great job.
She did a good job. I do think I mean, it's hard to throw shade at. Well, it's hard. No, it's hard to throw shade at this woman in any capacity. I think her face doesn't emote well. Like she doesn't have the. I'm just gonna be honest. She doesn't have the gifts Anna Taylor-Joy has. She doesn't have the gifts Mia Goth has. Oh, yeah. She doesn't even have the gift that fucking Wednesday has. What's her face? Like, what's her name? B-show.
I think Wednesday. Florence Pugh is great too.
Florence Pugh. Yeah. She doesn't have that. Sydney Sweeney is a good American actress who's has incredible sex appeal. You know, those women have that too, even though they're not American. But B-show, like Mia Goth range compared to Sydney Sweeney. I mean, this is like.
It was weird how they juxtaposed Sydney Sweeney, who's kind of a bombshell, as
she's absurd.
This character in the movie. It was like, first of all, a nun. Second of all, what happens to her, and it's like, holy shit.
Jenna Ortega, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, good job, Chris.
Yeah,
I thought that was an interesting casting choice because I don't know if like Mia Goth would have had the same, like her having like think of the Renaissance paintings of Mary where she's just kind of like.
Yeah,
stoic looking. I think Mia Goth could have nailed that. And probably
Anna Taylor-Joy could have nailed it. Any one of these women I just mentioned, by the way. And by the way, we should also throw in that category, long legs girl, Mila, whatever.
Micah Monroe.
What's her name?
Micah Monroe.
Micah Monroe, because she's got like 5 huge horror films now, guys. I mean, she's gonna be like the next thing. Shah, let me ask you a question. Do you think now that you've seen them both? Do you think one of them is more rewatchable than the other one? I know Omen is about 20 minutes longer, but Immaculate being 90 minutes, I think, really helps.
Yeah, I think overall, First Omen has more watchability. Like I think it's a funner movie overall.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Just because it's more violent, it's a little bit more grotesque than Immaculate is. Immaculate is more artsy. You know what I mean? It's just like an artsy ass fucking take on possession films.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're a great double feature, man. I mean, the similarities, dude, it's uncanny. I mean, you look at they even use almost the same masks in the movies.
They do. It's it's Italy, right?
The cult, the masks. I mean, two American girls coming to Rome and becoming nuns, and then obviously the endings are exact opposite, but same concept for the most part. I don't know, man. So one of them copied each other. I don't know who made it first, but you know.
B-show, you need to see First Omen. We should have, and that, you know what, that could be a single standalone bonus episode where we literally just go fucking, because they're both going to be on everybody's list. There's going to be versions of lists where these movies are going to be there. No doubt. There's no fucking doubt. And Immaculate was very successful. And according to the Yari, she's been trying to get this movie made since she was 16 years old. She had a big hand in getting this off the ground.
That's true. Yeah, I watched the bonus features. She actually, she's been invested in this for 12 years. This is like this was like a project she's always wanted to do. She actually became the executive producer and actually like produced it, not just like put her name on it, but she had a hand in everything.
Oh yeah. Which, by the way, Shah, that's very Mia Goth. That's very Anna Taylor-Joy now. Like this is, Drew Yari's First Omen's in my top 10. Yeah, it's in my top 10. It's probably in Shah's, and I probably will
Oh
end
yeah,
up in
absolutely.
Bijou's.
It's in my top
10?
5 easily. Yeah.
Top 5, maybe. But we got so much to move on to. But before we move on to something else, I just want to say I did see Sydney Sweeney might be the Black Cat in Spider-Man, and that would just be like sex appeal. Like the sex appeal of that would be off the fucking charts. She's a big player now. I like that she did an artsy horror film. It did feel like a foreign film. It did feel like a foreign film. I might check it out again if I have like 5 minutes to my life, which seems unlikely. But yeah, respect to her for that for sure, Drew. And of course, Chris Mann says, yeah, credit to her getting that done. Before we move on, B-Show, very quietly, speaking of horror films of the year, you finally saw In a Violent Nature. Shah has not seen it. I saw it in theaters. I liked it for what it was. Definitely has its flaws, but I saw the appeal to this. I just wanted to get your 2 cents on it before we move on.
It was kind of what I expected. To me, it was a little bit too close to the origin of like Jason Friday the 13th. It's like, oh, instead of having this kid drown, it'll be this. And some things I didn't understand either. Like, I can't complain about it though, because we love Jason. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this happened when he was a kid, and now he's like in the form of an adult. Like, there were some things that not only weren't really fleshed out, I think on purpose, but I thought were way too similar to Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
That said, I thought it was great for what it was. I think setting it over such a large area and following him like walking a lot really drug the movie down quite a bit.
Mm.
And it didn't make me tense in an anticipatory way. It just made me like, all right, come the fuck, like, can you jog, man? Jason ran every once in a while. Let's fucking get this shit over with. But for what it was, I thought it was cool. The one thing annoyed me though was there's a scene around the campfire where he's watching and the kids are talking. I couldn't hear a fucking thing.
I couldn't hear. I think because he really can't hear it. That's what that was. I think.
Oh well,
that's what I believe.
Like it sounded like everyone was mumble mouth.
Yeah,
and it reminded me. I was like, oh, okay, this is a Gen Z horror movie now because it reminded me like of a lot of my kids when they talk or our neighbors.
Oh, it's
kids.
so annoying. Yes,
it's so fast. Like,
yeah,
it's like fucking speak. It's a movie.
Now,
other than that, I thought it was great.
Okay, now Shah, you have yet to see it. I know you're going to see it. Shah, you didn't order it yet, did you? In a Violent Nature?
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered on Amazon. I think it's coming out in October, so I'll see it sometime for Halloween.
But I just want to say one thing to B-Show, and then because I don't want to, because again, you have to see it. Yoga Girl. Will you concede as of right now that is the horror scene of the like as far as gore off the charts? Like Terrifier is going to probably bury that. It probably is. But for today, there's nothing. Have you ever seen a scene like that in the last couple of years in a movie?
No.
Other than Terrifier?
It was one of those scenes where you think it's done and then it's not. And then it's not. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's intense. Shah, you've heard of Yoga Girl, right?
I have not. Is it worse than the stabbing in Infinity Pool?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
I thought that was very uncomfortable because it seemed so realistic and it just dragged on and on. And I'm like, all right, dude. All right. Okay, we got it, man.
Yeah. Shah, you'll probably, if you're streaming or you're watching it on like Blu-ray or something, you will rewind it and be like, yeah, right, B-Show, like it's no joke. Like it's legit.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to give anything away, but it's like something happens. You think that's it.
You
then something else happens. It's like, wait, and then another thing happens. It's like, holy shit!
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah,
and that wood chipper thing's pretty something too. But
yeah, and you know what? One was subtle that Drew brought up that I really liked was the underwater scene.
Underwater, yeah,
because like someone.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, she's just off the dock swimming, and you see that he's gone into the water, and then
Shah, wait till you see this, dude. It's like Jaws.
Yeah,
it's like fucking Jaws.
Is it more similar to The Burning than Friday, or no? That's the vibe that I got when I watched the trailer. I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of The Burning a little bit.
No, because like I don't want to give more than we already have. Like you'll see why. You'll see why, right? Okay. B-Show, like it's Friday the 13th, and it doesn't. And I don't think it pretends to be anything other than that. I think it knows it is.
Yeah, and like I can see why some people say The Burning just because of like a key plot point, but I would say it's like Jason in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Shah to see it. I can't wait. There's no way you're going to just walk through that movie and not be like, dude, we got to talk about this. And by the way, people, when this does come streaming in October, we will be talking about the plot. The movie will have been out like 8 months at that point. There's no reason. So just so you know, but if you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely worth checking out. B-Show, just not to put you on the spot, but today it's in your top 5, maybe, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
I haven't seen a ton of the new ones that came out this year, but just thinking about how much I liked it, probably I thought it was a little too derivative. So we'll see what happens by the end of the year. Yeah. We had a lot to come out yet.
Well, speaking of a lot, we've got some bomb-ass motherfucking trailers. My fucking God. I thought we would start with this very odd-themed movie that just hit yesterday by a comedian named Kyle Mooney. He did a lot of like YouTube, I think, videos, and then he was on Saturday Night Live. He's a pretty funny guy. This is his movie. It's called Y2K, and it is literally about if everything that was supposed to happen on Y2K actually happens. Like with planes falling out of the sky and all this, and it's a dark comedy. It's got a very young cast. It looks very funny. I think it's A24, and is it? Yeah, I think it's A24. And we're gonna play it for you guys right now. It's called Y2K.
Shia. Any lucky lady gonna get the midnight kiss?
Just talk to her, dude. Is that Alicia Silverstone?
What's up, Laura?
No.
We're actually going to this New Year's thing. It's gonna be a total shit show.
Oh.
See ya.
It's 1999, and we getting drunk.
In a few hours, you have an excuse to kiss the girl of your dreams. Open up. Take us away. So smooth.
So this looks like your typical teen comedy, and then this happens.
Yeah, it reminds me of Super.
Is real.
Yeah. All right, let's pause this for a second. So, look, you guys are a lot younger than me, and there's a lot of people younger than you in here, but we all do remember there was that time period in 98 to 2000, Shah, where people were like literally making this like a cottage industry that you need to Y2K your stuff. Don't book a flight. I was not allowed to go anywhere because my job had us all on standby. I worked for a financial firm. I mean, you do remember this, Shah, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually remember the night, New Year's, we were at my mom's friend's house, and her husband went out to the power box and sharp at midnight, just to fuck with everyone, turned the power out and gave everyone a fucking heart attack.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he was a dickhead for that. I'll never forget that, man. That scared me shitless, dude.
That's the greatest.
I was terrified.
B-Show, you do recall this. I mean, like, it was touchy, to say the least.
Yeah, that, for some reason, my family, dude, Midwest, we're crazy. We stayed at a hotel with like a bunch of family members.
Yeah.
And there's a big glass window that looked over the bay at Lake Erie, and across you could see downtown Toledo. I just remember like being like 12 or 13 and watching the lights just to make sure that the lights in the city didn't go out.
Yeah,
and then,
so
like,
you know it was
5
okay.
minutes later, it's fine.
Yeah. By the way, Robbie's just said somebody cut the power at their New Year's Eve party. I was at midnight, like literally at the time Shah was saying that. That's Robbie, that's amazing.
I was a kid though, you know what I mean? It was like,
well, these are supposed to be like 15, 16-year-olds. So this is kind of close to it. Yeah, Joe Puncher's like I was a freshman in high school. These kids are supposed to be 15, 16.
Yeah, I was
15,
13.
17. So this is all right. So let's see. Well, apparently if Y2K was Y2K, this is what would have happened. Let's finish up this trailer.
Someone's on the net.
I love that AOL.
Dumbass. I use Joe.
Oh God, look at this.
You've got mail.
Fucking Chumbawamba song.
The VHS is attacking them.
It was a bootleg Varsity Blues. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. A Tamagotchi just drilled through a chick's head. Come on, we gotta go.
And Jonah Hill produced it.
We are
Look at this.
experiencing major problems.
Oh,
As a
God.
result of the Y2K breakdown.
This is amazing.
Bye-bye, human race.
We're talking global computer apocalypse.
Sorry, guys. I guess you're fucked.
They made a video and everything. That's crazy.
That's the director, Kyle Mooney.
You don't know how this shit works.
Grab a bike, grab a board, grab whatever you can.
This has been the shittiest night of my life.
Fuck this!
I like that they
But
made
it's
like
cool that we
killer
got to hang out
robots and
for
shit.
once. Don't let go!
Oh my god. Hi, Bo.
The old Apple translucent.
AOL.
I get knocked out, but I get up again.
Oh shit.
Wow. Wow, it's a Christmas movie, guys. I didn't expect it to be a Christmas movie. Shah, what are you thinking there? Does it bring back a lot of member berries?
It does. I'm very confused as to what's happening here. You know,
I think
looks
the machines turn because
yeah, like
every
fighting back.
electronic, every electronic thing just goes crazy and tries to kill us.
Kind of gives me the same vibe as like Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. You know, like that mystery comedy, weird. You know, like it looks like a fun movie though. It looks like a Jonah Hill type of movie. It definitely looks like that type of movie.
Yeah.
And A24, man, they're trying to go mainstream, and I'd rather have them approach it this way than to make actual mainstream movies. Because I think this appeals to a lot of people. I think a lot of people would probably find this fun. I know Civil War wasn't the biggest success for them. Probably didn't make as.
It's gonna end up probably being Academy Award shit though. I can tell you that.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it will. Cinematography, director.
Yeah, maybe
film.
cinematography.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe not performance, but performance. Kristen Dunn's very good in that movie. Bisho, you and Shah are the exact same age, so you know I imagine like this does bring some member berries there.
Oh my god, the stupid sticks the guy was trying to balance. The old
Chumbawamba.
Apple computer. Yeah. I mean, I like the member berries, obviously, but like, it does remind me of Superbad, which means it'll probably be fun. Mixed with, I think Joe Punches said Maximum Overdrive, or Chris Matthews says Terminator. I'm just surprised no one's done this until now.
Nobody.
Like 24 years later, and no one did a Y2K movie. The closest I think we got was Left Behind by fucking Kirk Cameron.
That's a religious movie.
Yeah.
By the way, the chat is not on board. Rich Dow said he'd rather fuck a tube of sandpaper than watch this.
Yum.
Joe Punches saying Maximum Overdrive mixed with Superbad, Terminator mixed with Superbad for Chris Matthews. Yeah, I think that's the idea. I mean, I think it looks fun. I'm curious to see how on brand it is. And also, I'm such a cinephile. I recognize that fat kid who's on a Kiwi, because he's the Fire Fist kid from Deadpool 2. And I don't understand how a New Zealander is just randomly living in the Midwest, but I'm sure maybe that'll get fleshed out in this story.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't care that they're making movies more diverse. I just remember in Toledo in 2000, we didn't have too many friends from fucking New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't remember kids from New Zealand living on my block in the 80s.
And the girl from Snow White is that chick in the movie, I guess.
That can't be her. She's 28. That's a different girl. She looks like, that's not Rachel Zegler. No chance. That girl's like 30 years old. There's no way she's playing 17 in a movie with a bunch of kids. She would be top billing. There's no chance. I know it looks like her, but it's not Rachel Zegler.
She plays.
That's Rachel Zegler?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? She's like 28. How old is she? She's playing like a 17-year-old in this movie?
23.
Damn!
That's how they used to do it in the 80s, man. They'd have
I thought she was way too. Well, there's that kid from Stranger Things and stuff. She's like 17 years old, and that Fire Fist kid is like 18, 19. I don't know. He couldn't have been that old.
Fire Fist is 21.
He's 21. Okay. Maybe they're playing seniors in high school. They look like they're playing very young though.
Oh God, Fred Durst is in this movie.
Fred Durst is in this movie? All right. Well, listen, it's an interesting concept. There's only one way to find it. I can't believe that's Rachel Zegler. She's sort of becoming box office poison. But she's also not the star of this movie. Like this is not like a vehicle for a star. There is another trailer that I saw for a TV series I am super curious about. It's on FX, which has banger TV series. It's a horror series called Grotesque. I know nothing about this. The trailer dropped, I think, Sunday or Monday, and I was like, holy shit, we got to talk about this. It's like cult, serial killer, Satan. My nipples are already getting ready to dance. So this is going to be an FX series. I think it starts in September. It might have something to do with not American Horror Story, Ryan Murphy. Because I think he just did the Melendez series, but it's called Grotesque, and we're going to share it with you guys right now. Right off the bat, look at that, guys. Look at this shit.
I don't know how it started.
I love this cinematography already, dude.
Look at this.
In the world,
Oh, is that Niecy Nash?
Yeah, DC Nash is a star. Look at this.
to the
Look at this.
center of nothingness.
Oh, dude, I'm in.
Look at this shit.
Oh,
Everywhere.
dude.
Look at the cinematography. Look at this.
What the fuck? Holy
I mean, the visuals are off the chart.
Oh my god.
This killer is sermonizing, proselytizing, preaching.
Boy, this checks off a lot of
To
boxes,
understand
doesn't
this
it?
monster,
Absolutely.
we have to decipher these murders.
Wow.
Well, those crucifixes are nice.
The crucifixes are everywhere. Dude.
Something is happening around us.
I mean, this is just
Nobody
insane.
sees but me.
Ryan Murphy, American Horror Story. Yeah, so it's streaming on Hulu. Shah, I mean, the visuals in that this movie's checking off about 20 boxes for me.
Yeah, I just had an eyegasm. That was an experience. Jesus. I loved 95% of it. The other 5% is exactly what I hate, with like bad CGI, and it looked like it could take a shit, but I mean the other 95% looked fucking phenomenal, man. I mean, the color scheme, like fucking, it looked like Mandy mixed with like
Mandy, yes,
like Hannibal. Like I don't know what the fuck's going on, mixed with like Seven and cults, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I would definitely check this out though. I'm not a big TV person, but this is something I would at least give a shot. This would look.
Yeah, well, it's Hulu,
man.
and it's
That was
probably
incredible.
hard. It's Ryan Murphy, American Horror Story, probably hard R. Bisha, before I get your vibe, would you mind pulling this up? I'd like to learn a little bit about this if we can, and then I'd like to get your take on this, because I saw this trailer on my phone. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the trailer reminded me, as I pulled this up, of it was like that movie Last Night in Soho, just how it looked meets like Twin Peaks, or Mandy meets Twin Peaks. It's just so out there.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up an article from Deadline.
Yeah, no one. This just kind of came. I like Niecy Nash quite a bit. She's got some voice on her. I don't know. I love her voice. It looks batshit fucking crazy. Who was Travis Kelce in this? I didn't catch any of that. What the fuck is he?
You know what's funny is I was gonna joke and say, "Oh shit, they got Travis Kelce because the guy looked like him," but everyone's saying it was actually him.
Oh, I don't know enough about who he really is. I don't really know enough about football. But this is
I don't
just an
see any
article on it.
details.
Well, okay. I mean, it's obviously a killer of some kind. Then cults. You put FX Grotesque. No, that might not be it. Or FX Watch Grotesque. Yeah, Shah. I mean, I know you're not a TV guy, but that is Travis Kelce. Wow. Shah, I know you're not a TV guy, but I think this is something that it checks off so much boxes that you'll have to watch it.
Yeah, this was definitely fucking surprising to me. I was not expecting myself to be as invested as I am. I mean, the beginning of it, all the crosses, just the composition of every shot was fucking like perfect. Like whoever did this, man, they clearly knew what they were doing. Like I said, the only complaint was the CGI, which Drew Yari is questioning. I'm talking about like the part where the crow came out of the face. That's all obviously CGI. That stuff kind of looks corny to me. Like the rest of it looked fucking like beautiful paintings. And then here's this very generic Blumhousey type of effects with a crow coming out of a demon's face. I don't know. I hope they take more of a realistic, like, religious cult approach versus some demonic entity that has crows flying out. And
yeah, it could just be a killer, and this is stuff she sees. Like,
yeah,
we'll find that out.
Well, like That's So Raven. Is this That's So Raven meets Dexter or something?
That's So Dexter. We should call the episode That's So Dexter. It does have a Dexter vibe. Bisha, will you be checking this out? I'm definitely watching this one.
Probably. I mean, there's not too many series that come out for TV that really catch my attention anymore. This one got it. I mean, the trailer looks beautiful. I like Niecy Nash. She was great in Dahmer or whatever it was called.
She was oh my god, she was incredible in that fucking thing.
And I've liked her all the way since like Reno 911 days.
She's very funny lady. So this is a great role for her. Speaking of TV, Bisha, we've got a banging trailer for Shudder's exclusive limited series of a brand new horror anthology. Well, not an anthology, but it's a Shudder It's a series that's going to debut on Shudder that looks so goddamn cool. And I guess the trailer just dropped this week. So, Shudder only being about $6 a month or whatever the fuck it is. It's sort of like, I don't know, how do we describe this, B-Show?
I didn't see it, so I don't know if this is like In Search of Darkness or if it's something different.
No, it's something else. It's a new series on Shudder where they take a theme of horror and examine it with all famous people and show clips. So, do we have it here?
Yes,
yeah.
Right here.
Horror's greatest. So they're basically going to tell us the greatest serial killer, the greatest monster movie, the greatest, kill scene. So it's only about a minute, and we're going to play it for you right now. But I want to look at those categories with you guys. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
I just want to see those Here we go. All right.
You read my mind.
So we got tropes and cliches, giant monsters, Japanese horror, horror comedies, and Stephen King adaptations. Shah, are you looking forward to this series coming on soon?
Yeah, absolutely. I love list shows. I'm a sucker for lists, and
love them.
They actually had a similar show a couple years ago.
In Search of Darkness.
Eli Roth's Horror History.
No, it wasn't that one. They did something else after that.
Yeah, it was like a countdown, right, Shah?
Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust was on there for sure. Yep. I don't know if it was like a top 50 banned movies or something. I don't know what it was.
Something,
but
yeah,
they did some sort of series based on a list, but it was a single topic. It wasn't like different ones like this.
Right.
I'm sold, dude. I love shows like this. So, and it looks like it has a decent amount of different categories. Like it's very diverse. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. My favorite thing about this is B-Show, what we're going to think about every one of these categories and what they picked.
True. Yeah, because you don't know. I mean, look, the horror Twitter space is a mixed bag.
It is.
And it gets kind of strange sometimes. But it's interesting. They got like Mick Garris on there, which I think is cool. Mick Garris seems like a super cool guy. Yeah. I didn't really like the Eli Roth one. I just feel like all those episodes.
I didn't watch it.
I'd already seen everything on that anyway, and it didn't seem like he added anything to it. This one seems a little bit more fun because it's throwing favorites in there and topics like this. So yeah, man, Stephen King adaptations is going to be good.
That's a great category. I'm surprised, guys, no one's done that before. Shah, right? Like Stephen King adaptations. There's been like a dozen plus, maybe more. Like to count those down.
I think there's been dozens at this point, honestly, with TV shows included. I mean, there's tons.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm excited about this. It airs pretty soon. Totally worth checking out on Shudder. We got a couple more trailers, then we want to wrap up with the one particular topic.
Hold on, that's what it was. Drew, you already just mentioned
101 scariest moments.
That's what it was. Yeah,
that was great. Yeah, Drew. By the way, Psycho #1 for its time. Absolutely. Probably Jaws should have been #2. You can go neck and neck with that B-Show, don't you think, for the time periods?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, Drew, is if you're looking at it from right now, there's probably been a lot of other movies that are more tense or scary. Yeah. But you got to like grade it on a curve for when they came out.
For the time period.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other movies. One of them is also coming to Shudder. It's called Azreal, not to be confused with the guy who replaced Bruce Wayne when Bane broke his back in the Batman comic books. For all you nerds out there, I loved Azreal. He was a great character. But it's a Shudder exclusive. I think it might be on Shudder now, and we're just gonna play that for you real quick. And it's called Azreal. Ooh, strong, bloody violence and gore. Let's whip it out. IFC Shudder. Okay, they have a lot of IFC. Oh, I love this shot, guys. What do you think of that? Look at this. Oh, Woods shot, your favorite.
Oh, there's something.
So far, it reminds me of The Ritual.
After the Rapture. Oh, wow.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah. I love this already. Hell yeah.
Post-Rapture movie. Oh, my God. That girl looks familiar. Look at this. Look at this shit. Oh, my God.
What the
kind of sacrifice there. So this is a post-Rapture movie. I don't know what EL Cat.
Drew's saying that's Samara Weaving.
That is? Wow.
Good eye, Drew.
Good eye. She's a pretty girl. Wow, she's gorgeous, huh? Look at this shit. Oh, down into this. A lot of great visuals here.
Oh shit!
Wow. Oh my God. So in theaters, okay, wow. I was gonna say she's kind of like a star. Shah, I mean, first of all, there might not be speaking in this movie. That's right off the bat because of the trailer. It said suffer in silence. This is about the people left behind who don't get taken up to heaven. And it looks like they have to appease some demons or shit on the earth. This looks like a fucking fun ass movie to me.
Yeah, that trailer looked fucking amazing. Dude, this is exactly what I like. It reminds me of that Netflix movie, The Ritual. You've seen that,
Oh,
right?
I love that monster in the rituals.
Yeah. Oh, dude, fucking amazing.
Show, you need to see it just for the monster.
Dude, you gotta see The Ritual. It's so, anybody in the chat room, if you have Netflix and you haven't seen The Ritual,
have to see
one of the best horror movies to come out in the last like 15 years. It's
easily
fucking amazing.
100, very original. Very original.
And it looks good. Like that CGI that looks fucking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sold on this, man. This looks fucking great.
Yeah, it really does. It blew me away when I saw it. B-Show, I'm sorry.
It reminds me of Antrim a little bit too. Have you seen that movie?
I've heard of it. I've seen the trailer for it.
Yeah, with the dark figure in the woods. It kind of reminds me of the same thing.
I love that scream. The thing was like that. You don't see, I love that we don't see it, by the way. Thank you for not showing us the goddamn creature. B-Show, what's your take on this? And then if we could pull it up, I'd like to get a little bit more info on it because I didn't think it was going to theaters. I thought it was going to Shudder.
So I'm digging it because of the religious context. Obviously, I was a fan of Immaculate. I looked up what Azreal was in the Bible because that name.
Right?
Yeah. So after the high priest transferred all the sins of the Jewish people to the scapegoat, the goat destined for Azrael was driven into the wilderness and cast over a precipice to its death. Azrael was the personification of uncleanness, and in later rabbinic writings was sometimes described as a fallen angel. So this is after the rapture. This is all of the evil force, unclean, nasty demon shit.
And they're probably giving it a sacrifice to not kill everybody. Can we pull the movie up real quick? I just want to see who directed this because I love Shah, those opening woods scenes, like that pan in the giant woods before we even see anybody and know what the fuck the movie's about. My God, that looked good.
E.L. Katz is the director.
I just want to see what else this person's done. Oh, he did Cheap Thrills. Okay. You guys seen Cheap Thrills?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's a crazy movie. Oh, you've heard of it though, right, Shah?
No.
Oh, Cheap Thrills is a very, very popular cult movie. I don't know if anyone in the chat has seen Cheap Thrills. But it's very, very popular. Like this is a cult film, I think, almost at this point. I don't want to give it away. You go see it cold. That's all I'm trying to say. It's Samara Weaving. That's her name. Yeah, she's from Ready or Not. She's good in that. She's in a few movies, I think, actually.
She was in that one wedding movie where her and her husband were married, and then the family had
that's a good movie. Yeah, where he sacrificed. That's a cool movie. Shah, I can't believe you never heard of Cheap Thrills.
No, I have not. JD Horror, he's an XPW wrestler. I'm pretty good friends with him. I did a bunch of designs for him, and we just talk horror movies all the time. He actually recommended this movie. He was like, dude, it's my favorite film of the year. Go check it out. Azreal. He's seen that one.
Azreal? He's seen it already?
Yeah. I forgot that he mentioned that.
Okay.
By the way, cheap plug for him. He does a horror show called Postmortem Podcast. Go check that out.
Podcast. Okay.
Yeah, go check that out. I think that's what it's called.
Mick Garris had one like that. Is it the same show or a different one?
No, give me 1 second. I might be saying the name wrong. Let me go back to my podcast.
Well, I've seen Ready or Not. I've seen The Babysitter. And B-Show, she's the opening Scream girl. She's that girl in Scream 6 there.
That's right. She, in the alley, right?
And the date. The date. So she opens that film. She's gorgeous, huh?
She is. A lot of people, she does look kind of similar to Margot Robbie, but she's very, very cute.
She does. She has a very, this girl's got some face. Well, I'm excited about this movie.
It's Postmortem. It's got a green zombie as the logo. Go check it out.
Yeah,
they do a bunch of lists too. They're very knowledgeable when it comes to horror.
Well, we'll definitely be checking them out. Postmortem Podcast.
It's JD Horror. Yeah, that one right there.
JD Horror. Okay. Right. We'll give a shout out, a little plug there for him. But yeah, I think we're all curious about this. This could be another one that we're all talking about going, God damn, that's on my list. Because it has that kind of potential. I bet you if the creature looks good and if it sticks with that theme, this guy's made some pretty interesting movies that people like quite a bit. Ready or Not was very successful. The Babysitter was very successful. He did not direct. Oh, Cheap Thrills, and she is very hot too. People like her. She's a hot actress in terms of like people are into her shit. But we got one more trailer, B show, don't you? And then we got to just wrap up talking a little Acolyte.
Yeah.
Oh, Room Next Door. Oh, Room Next Door trailer. Okay. Have you guys seen this yet? The Room Next Door? You saw it, Pisha?
Yes.
I have
Because
not.
I was fascinated because you said this is beautiful. I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay. This is a very short trailer shot. This is like, I have no idea what this is, but it blew me away. We're just gonna let it. It's only a minute. We're just gonna play it. I can't even tell you what this is about, but it's called Room Next Door. Sony Pictures Classics. And there's some big people in this movie. No talking in the trailer. Look at the stars in this movie. This looks like one of those Oscar kind of films. So that is Julianne Moore and what's her face there? I never
play
remember.
Gabriel in.
Yeah, she's great. I never remember her name. That's definitely Julianne Moore. I forget this actor's name. Someone's gonna G-check me on it.
Tilda Swinton?
Tilda Swinton, yeah, she's so versatile.
Good eye, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I mean, this woman is a versatile actress, and I love Julianne Moore. That's definitely her.
I thought that was Jodie Foster for a second.
No, that's Julianne Moore. Look at these visuals. I just love the way this is shot. It looks gorgeous. Oh, guys, this director is. Have you heard of the Pedro Almodovar? Can we pull this director's name up? This guy's like a big deal, dude. I just love these visuals. I just think they look so bright. Like Shah, the colors, like every color is bright. You know,
Yeah.
even in a mute. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something about that color palette. Oh, is this? I've heard of this guy.
Oh, The Skin I Live In.
The Skin I Live In is a beast.
Fuck. Dude, that movie is a bad shit crazy.
Bisho, have you ever heard of this movie, The Skin I Live In?
No, it sounds familiar, but I have no idea what it is.
Oh, I don't know how to describe it, but my God, it is a shot like that is a unique movie, man.
Very disturbing. The concept is batshit crazy. Yeah,
this guy
dude.
did Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. Oh my God, this guy's got bangers on here.
And it's got
that other
Antonio
movie there.
Banderas.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas, but like it's such a. I mean, oh my God, Bisho, you need to see that movie. It's
The fact that he did that movie already sold me on this because this kind of the setting reminds me of like Goodnight Mommy. Like I feel like this is going to be a fucked up movie.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
there's no chance this is a regular movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a sweet movie because at first I was like, oh, she like maybe her friend had cancer or she's got dementia or something. But then I'm like, no, this is gonna take a turn. This is they're fooling us with this trailer. This is gonna be a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
So IMDb has a description. Martha's strained relationship with her mother fractures completely when a misunderstanding drives them apart. Their mutual friend Ingrid sees both sides of the rift.
Interesting.
Maybe it is a drama. Maybe it is a sweet drama. I don't know.
Now this guy makes fucking bananas movies, and this is his first English-speaking movie. He makes, I think, Spanish-speaking films. But look at the Bisho. Look at these colors. Like everything, like anything with a color, is so specific. Like the makeup, like that red. It's like very. Look at that shirt. It's so. Look at the chairs.
I mean, red is clearly a theme. You see, like the chair and the door were both red, very similar shapes. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of symbolism in the film. They know what they're doing with the fucking color palettes.
Look at that. I mean, but just the color scheme.
I like how it's these vibrant colors to pull your attention amongst a backdrop of like earth tones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's very deliberate.
Look at that. I mean,
and
just
the red and green. Yeah.
The green. Yeah. Like it just, I was like, God, this is gorgeous.
Dude, that looks like the house from Goodnight Mommy. Tell me it's not.
It does look like the house of Goodnight Mommy. But Shah, this director has been around a long time. Like this guy is an international, like A-list director. He's never made a film in English before.
Yeah. I mean, the only one I've seen is The Skin I Live In, and I can't recommend that enough. If you're into fucked up movies, it's not a normal movie.
Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. And I think one of those Penelope Cruz movies he did that's very popular. From like maybe 10 years ago. I vaguely may have seen that. Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down was like, I think, an Academy Award foreign film nominee. when it actually came out. Yeah, All About My Mother. Yes, Robbie. Bisho, can you pull that up? That movie is supposed to be fucking bananas. All About My Mother. I don't know. I don't know what year it's from, but this. First of all, Tilda Swinton is like every time I see her, I'm mesmerized because that woman could do fucking anything in a film.
1999.
Yes. Have you guys ever heard of this movie before?
No, but I mean, the relationship with the mother is a theme in his films. I'm assuming there's some sort of conflict in his personal life with his mom because,
yeah,
that movie's about moms. This movie's about a relationship with mom.
1999. Wow, this guy's probably in his 70s.
Yeah, he's been around, I guess.
He's been around a long time. Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down was from the 90s.
Said he was 75 years old, I think.
Oh, Madonna mia.
Jesus.
Well, I'm excited. I'm very curious about this because it looks gorgeous, and it stood out to me. I was like, "Oh my god, I got to show you guys this." Look at the
No, that looked great. Yeah.
It blew me the fuck away. Hey, listen, before we go over to Patreon, we're going to just talk a little bit about this because it is the biggest media story of the week. It just is. But I don't have much to say about it because I think I've said it already, and it's not going to be a shock to anybody. Disney had the series The Acolyte in the Star Wars lineage. I watched the first 2 episodes. I couldn't believe how bad it was. I am not somebody who has a bug up his ass about diversity. I am not someone who has a bug up his ass about gender. I'm just not that guy. I'm not. It's not something that shakes me or makes me uncomfortable. I'm just somebody who doesn't like things that are bad. And I feel like if you're going to make a very gay Star Wars, franchise, it better be the best gay fucking franchise of all motherfucking time. And this whole experience has been so poorly done, so poorly received, not because of its themes, not because of the star's gender or lack of gender or the characters in it being, diverse, what have you, because it's bad, because it's just bad. It's poorly written. It's poorly conceived. The acting is grossly, like, I want to say, I've seen porn in 4 different decades, and I've never seen people struggling to emote such terrible lines. It shits on its fan base. It shits on the history. And it does this in the name of bringing people to the screen who maybe otherwise might not have been brought to the screen. It also cost $23 million an episode, which is disgusting, to say the least, that you would do this. Well, it's gone. It has been not only canceled, it seems like they're getting rid of any sort of trace of it in some capacity. Like you can't search for it or something. It's very strange. And, Leslie Headland, the director, who was Harvey Weinstein's assistant, wanted to make this, very gay-friendly show, was given hundreds of $millions to do it. It was so bad. It got worse and worse and worse. This girl is a terrible actress, the lead. Everyone in it is bad. Bisho, how much of it did you watch? I watched 2 episodes and I forgot about it.
I watched the first scene, which was like a slow motion kung fu fight between Carrie Ann Moss and the antagonist, and I checked out. It was
you lasted a scene.
Yeah, BADD. Oh, then I tried to watch like maybe 5 minutes afterwards on the ship, and I was like, "This is bad dialogue,
it's
bad
so
acting.
Bad.
It's just terrible.
It's so bad." And like the problem was, Shah, I know but you've heard about this for sure. The problem was you had 2 different camps shitting on this. You had the camp that loves Star Wars and thought this was a shitty interpretation, and just genuinely didn't enjoy it. But you also had the camp of people that the minute they see something gay and black and brown, they immediately get upset or annoyed. I mean, that's just part of that. These people exist. I hope there's not a lot of them, but they do exist. There are people that don't want to see this in anything that they enjoy.
No, for sure. There's a larger group than you think that exists.
Yeah, sadly,
go on YouTube and look up some of these comments, and it's pretty bizarre.
Ridiculous.
I just want it to come natural, so it's genuine. You know what I mean? I hate it when they try too hard, like that Scooby-Doo reboot that they did. Like, I mean, it's fucking silly when they try that hard.
It's so silly.
Yeah, it sucks that there's people like that, but at the same time, I'm also kind of fed up with trying too hard to be diverse. As a minority, I want it to be natural. You know what I mean? I want it to be, realistic. When you have 13 different cultures in one scene and 13 different fucking genders. It's just too much. You know what I mean? You're just trying way too hard, and it shows. But yeah, I don't know anything about the show, obviously, but I'm getting Disney Plus soon, though. I think next month I'm gonna.
Oh wow!
I don't even have a reason because there's nothing on there I want to see. But I just want to revisit.
You'll find shit. You'll
I'm
go
sure
back to the classics. There's so much shit on there. B-Show. I mean, I'm relieved that it's canceled because I did see mainstream entertainment outlets praising this, and then you could see through the thin veneer of it that it was done so they didn't get yelled at or get in trouble. And I think this is not helping anybody. Like, this does not help anybody's cause for equality when it's so poorly done that you have to just praise it for existing is infantilizing marginalized people, marginalized actors, writers, directors, people's gender. Like you can't tell me that you have to tell these stories whether they're good or bad, and we just have to say they're good, otherwise you're going to get yelled at.
Yeah, and I look at those people almost like the fringe wrestling fans who are like, yeah, they're loud and they make a lot of noise, but that's not necessarily representative of everybody. I heard a lot about how terrible it was, honestly.
It's so bad.
And it's like, people have compared it to bad fan fiction. Imagine they're going to remake Blade, right? And then Lifetime picks it up and says, all right, but we're going to make it like they're going to sparkle and they're going to have a love story. It's like, no, you
call it the Gay Blade, like Zorro and the Gay Blade.
Oh my God.
Gay Blade.
At least the person who did that movie had a sense to make Twilight. It wasn't Blade 2020 or 2015.
Yeah.
And I think that's the risk they ran is Disney picked it up. They're trying so hard to capture this other audience and make it something it's not. Meaning, like, not that women can't like Star Wars, but there was a specific type of story that they told, right? And now they're saying, well, now we're going to do this, and we're going to have thirst traps, and now we're going to have guys in no shirts and showering in the bay. And are they going to do something? It's like it just reads as bad fan fiction. And if you let's say you took Jaws, you did the same thing with Jaws, like maybe Hooper's trying to sneak a peek at fucking Roy Scheider's cock on the boat. Like, people, it's like, no, this is Jaws.
So what if all the guys on Jaws bang each other like on the boat before they get the shark?
And then Jaws, when Bruce comes up on the boat, it's like, hey, it's not like, him trying to kill him. He's trying to join the party. But
you're going to need a bigger boat, bitch.
I would love it if they were like shooting like a TikTok
Jaws.
fucking dance before the Jaws attack,
Yeah. They're watching RuPaul's Drag Race and they don't realize that the shark has shown up. I mean, Shah, listen, the problem is, right? It's basically what South Park said. Like, South Park had a whole thing with Cartman where he pretended he was the head of Disney, the woman who ruined Disney. And he said, put a chick in it, make it gay, make it lame. That was long before The Acolyte aired. And like, they knew, like, South Park once again nailed it again. This is like, South Park's like, put a chick in it, make her gay, make it lame. And here we are a year later, and that's what Star Wars did. And it was destroyed by people. And, can I just ask, before we head out, I just want to ask you both this question. Why is it so hard to incorporate these themes and lose the integrity of something? Why does it seem whenever this is done, it's done at the expense of plot and performances and writing and the fan base? Can we get something like this where we have a lot of different representation where it's done well? It just seems like we're struggling to have this executed well enough to cross into people. And I'm not talking about the people who hate anything that they, that isn't like white and Christian-y or whatever. I'm talking about people who like franchises who then see that the lead is now a Taiwan, half Vietnamese, genderless dwarf. And previously it was a 6'3" fit person. And if they complain about it, they're going to get, yelled off the internet.
Yeah, I think it just comes off disingenuous. Not to get political, but it almost reminds me, like, what Disney's doing almost reminds me of when Nancy Pelosi and all the Democrats came out wearing dashikis and shit. Like, it's just, it doesn't help. You know what I mean?
It's not helping. Like,
Yeah,
why?
it's just,
But why can't people just be normal and do this?
right. It's
Like,
cringy. You're
put
trying
everybody
too
normal.
hard, man.
It's
Yeah,
trying so
that's
hard.
my problem with it. Is it seems very disingenuous just because it comes off like they're trying super hard to cater to everybody out there. And it's kind of gross, to be honest with you.
Well, it's failed. B-Show, will we ever get a well-received, multi-diverse, cross-gender, something in that with the depth of a comic book or franchise or something like that, where people don't feel like it was done at the expense of quality?
I think Star Wars is a lost cause with that because it's become such an
It's
issue
It's
that
just
it's gone.
Yeah, but you have Mandalorian, you have Andor. There's good things there.
Yeah. No, I know. I just mean with the causes because people know that this is what Disney's about. Now, I've also heard from other creators, one I think was a producer or a writer, that a lot of people did not want to work on projects with Lucasfilm because of how controlling and how hard to work with they were because they were driven on one certain thing. Wow. And I think to answer your earlier question, John, you've written songs. Shaheen has, done tons of art. I think we all have an understanding of like what goes into natural, like creative efforts. The second you try to force stuff into it, it starts to lose all of its depth and it starts to lose its originality. I think that's where they're at. They're hiring activist filmmakers. They're hiring people who have made documentary films about like the genocide in Rwanda or whatever it is. And it's like, that's great. That's great that you're bringing attention to that.
And it's important stuff.
But this is an action adventure movie set in space about good versus evil and family. So like, why? So can they make a movie like that was well received? I think it'd be great. But I think if you turn the other coin, imagine they remade Philadelphia. Great film.
It's amazing.
Probably one of my favorite, contemporary classics.
Fantastic movie.
Imagine if they made both characters straight and it had nothing to do with like the original plot of Philadelphia.
That would never.
I think people would have a problem with that, and I understand.
That could never happen. That could never happen. I just don't understand why it can't be good and all of it. Like it's not good. Like it's not objectively. It's not a. I'm being super objective as I can because I don't care about any of those things. I just don't like bad things. You can't just tell me I have to like something because of representation. It has to still be good. It has to still hold my interest. You also can't shit on a fan base. I think people are starting to learn that. There's a reason, somebody said this a lot smarter than me, and I don't know who this person was. They said The Acolyte didn't get canceled because of incels and right-wing trolls review bombing it. It got canceled because fans of Star Wars thought it was bad, and they didn't like it, and that's why it failed, and they didn't watch it. And it's the lowest rated Star Wars related property in the history of the Disney Channel. I'm glad it's gone. I hope anyone that had anything to do with it never touches a genre again. And I feel bad because I'm telling you, there is probably a genderless, multiracial person right now who is fucking so in tuned with Star Wars and could write the fucking best TV show. And it probably is just a TV show for them. It's just, and they'll probably got some diversity in there and some good casting in there. And it's probably never going to happen now because they let a bunch of amateur activists completely run roughshod over a fucking franchise, and it failed. And it fucking failed. It's a goddamn shame. But I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to talk about it really anymore. It just bothers me that people can't be honest. And I'm more upset, to be honest with you. I'm more upset with the fucking film reviewers and the magazines and stuff like that who were like, this is groundbreaking. This is incredible. You knew it was bad. You were afraid to be honest about it, just like with wrestling, just like with fucking some of these other fucking things that go on in comics and stuff like that. But you pretended that it was good. You gaslit people into thinking that if they didn't agree with you, it was because they were fucking hateful or racist or sexist or misogynist. No, it's just bad. It sucks. And that girl, the lead girl, is such a terrible fucking actress. She's a cute kid. She is a terrible fucking actress. She should never be in a major motion picture again. She needs to go do fucking Tulsa theater, dinner theater in Tulsa, and learn how to fucking emote. That girl was bad on 2 levels. She played 2 different leads in this shit. Shah, it's the worst piece of shit. I dare you. Shah, when you get Disney Plus, put it on. I dare you to get through 10 minutes. I dare you. We could play a
I'm
game.
just gonna be transparent with you. That's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen. Exactly.
It's never gonna happen.
Because you're a racist. That's why. It's never gonna...
Against Star Wars.
Clearly, you're a racist because you hate Star Wars. Shah's a racist because he doesn't like Star Wars.
I'm a racist against the Jedis.
He's racist. You're also hate comic book movies, so you're racist for that too.
Anyone who hates our show, you're a bigot. There you go.
Yeah, you're a bigot. Yeah. Make it. Put a chick in it. Make her gay. Make it lame.
I'll get a Punisher tattoo soon.
There you go. Yeah, get the Punisher tattoo with the.
Now you're gonna be really white. Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna get on the side of my head.
MAGA Shah, MAGA Shaheen. That would be an interesting. Shah, right now in the multiverse, there's a MAGA Shaheen running around somewhere in one of the multiverses.
The way the world is going, man, you never know, man. I might be MAGA by next year. Just the way this shit's going.
Shah's like, go on. All right, we got a ton of stuff to get to in the free, but we're going to plug all of our pals. I'm going to plug the Rich Dow Show, Deathmatch Outlaws, the Drew Yari Experience, Cassette Classics 86 on YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, Don Tony and Kevin Castle, and of course, Rustlin' Soup, Necromaniacs podcast. You guys got to check out, the Necromaniacs podcast. They do deep dive reviews of full films. I still haven't listened to that Long Legs. I got to check that out.
They just put up Immaculate too, I think.
Immaculate. Yes, that's the one. They just did Immaculate. Now we've all seen that too, so we got to check that out. And of course, we have Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. Did I give the Inhuman Experience podcast? I just did. Now, Garden of Doom. And we also have Off the Mat, the Old Guy Metalcast, funkbetty.com. That's our good friend, Mr. Anderson's clothing company. He's probably got a fall line coming out soon. You want to check that out. MJW Games and Cherry Jesus on YouTube and his band Kaiser. And speaking of bands, our good friend Sam Hoyos, his band Playing Dead, I think they dropped a single today. And he's got the Red River podcast. Got to check in with Sam soon. The Bayou Geeks, that's Fete 316, the High Marks podcast, Midnight Mass Creature Cast, the Weekly Detour, that's Anthony, Alston, and Teddy, the Guns and Geeks podcast. And Shah, you got anything happening on the old Planet Mondo?
Not on my channel, but next week I'm going to be on the Disconnected show. I'm going to actually be on there on next Thursday, so I'm either going to have to miss the show or we're going to have to figure out a different day. We'll figure all that out.
Okay.
But I have promised them for like 2 months to do it, so I don't want to.
Yes, we've been talking about it. Okay. But, is that live or that's recorded?
No, that's live. Yeah, he does a show every time. Yeah, every week live. Okay. And we're basically going to go through all the different news topics as far as film, and then we're going to talk about a specific topic. I don't know if he wants me to put it out there yet or not.
Yeah, don't put it out there in case he doesn't, because And of course, people got to hit that subscribe button for Planet Mondo. B Show Brian, I know you just did your video for the Patreon for us. You gave it to them early. You got anything else happening on the old channel?
Yeah, actually for Patreon, I'm going to do that Carrie idea that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
I'm
trying to figure out how to make it work, so I'm working on it.
Okay.
So you guys are going to get that, and then if you subscribe to Patreon, you'll get the video for the B Show Brian channel early. If not, then you can check it out in a week or two on my channel, bshowbrian.com. Next week, Thursday, is my anniversary, so we will have to.
So we'll record probably Wednesday next week, guys, but we'll let you know early in the week, so this way we can clear the schedule there. And of course, they got to hit the B Show Brian subscribe channel. They got to hit the I was gonna say Break the Apocalypse. They got to hit the Spitball Media subscribe channel. And guys, great time to join the Patreon. We're gonna have a sick Q&A. The Q&As have been insane, bombastic. They get longer and longer. The only way to do that is go to patreon.com/spitballmedia. $5 a month. Treat yourself before the end of the summer. We're going to wrap it up. We got a ton of stuff for the bonus show for everybody in Patreon. And I hope you guys have a great week. We had a lot of fun. We'll see you on a different night next week. We'll let you know early. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Peace.